against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places.
Well, good morning, and Christmas is over, so that's it done for another year. And well, it certainly it was a good Christmas this year. I think it was a really good Christmas for me. So I hope you guys all had a really good Christmas. But I think we've got to get focused, because our enemies are focused, and I really became very aware this morning that I had to do a live stream. I was going to do one yesterday, but I didn't really have my thoughts together, because again, I was just kind of just chilling after Christmas. But I think what I'm saying is true, and I think what I'm saying is it's coming from a spiritual standpoint, it's coming from a political standpoint, it's coming from a personal standpoint, and I think we've got to be ready for the battle of our lives this year. Now, I'm not talking about necessarily a physical battle. It may get physical. There may be a physical component to it at some point. We don't want that. We want everything to be, no digital ID. That's a good one as well, Ron Dodge. I'm just checking the comments while I'm doing this, guys. The digital ID side of things, again, because I'm so focused on the battle that we're engaged in to defend freedom of speech, the digital ID thing is massive. It's absolutely massive. I mean, if you've got a limited company, you had to sign up last year to some sort of digital ID thing for your limited companies, and if you didn't do it, they're going to strike you off. So if you run a company in the UK, I've got 2 different companies. You only need to sign for one just under your own personal name, and then obviously you can have your limited companies off that. But it's crazy. So that was one thing. If we look at what we've got coming down the road, well, first of all, we'll look at what this Labour government's doing. First thing, obviously, digital ID, which Rhonda very, very rightly pointed out, needs to be stopped. But what can we do? Well, I'm going to go into that. I'm going to go into what we can do about all these things in a minute. Then we've got the abolition of jury trials. That's the abolition of 1,000 years of legal precedent, of proper being tried by your peers. You know that old saying, you better been tried by 12 than carried by 6, and that's a very, very true thing. They're going to do away with jury trials. They're gonna this new definition of, they're not calling it Islamophobia anymore, they're calling it anti-Muslimness hatred. What is even Muslimness? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And again, it's not a law. It's going to be this advisory definition that will become law, and it'll worm its way into every single area of law. And what I'm really concerned about, I nearly got one of my channels, the Richard Inman channel. What I want you to do, guys, because I was trying to get the Richard Inman channel monetized, and I think I probably nearly lost all my channels as a result of that. So what I'm going to ask everybody to do, if you're watching this on Richard Inman and you want to keep watching my content, please come across to Counter Media, because I don't think the Richard Inman channel is ever going to get monetized. It's got nearly 50,000 people on it. This one's only got 6,500 or something like that. I want to get everyone across to this channel. I'm going to start new YouTube channels. I've got websites that I've had sitting there for years that I'm going to give a good, a new lick of paint to, and so on and so forth. So in the political realm, we've got elections getting cancelled. We've got the great and the good in the political elite telling us that we're going to go to war with Russia, which nobody wants to do. No Brits want to go to war with Russia. We've got the definition of anti-Muslim hatred, whatever that means. We've got the continued mass, overwhelming influx of illegal migrants coming into the country. We've got the increasing Islamization of the country. We've got the pro-Palestinian people still marching every single weekend like absolute zombies. We've got this hunger strike that's going to, when they start dying, is going to lead to massive problems. We've got an increasing terror threat, and we've got all sorts of stuff going on this incoming year. And as Christians, as patriots, as civnats or Christian nationalists or whatever you want to call yourselves, we're certainly not ethnonats, and I'm going to talk about that as well. It's very interesting that people like Nick Griffin are now regularly appearing on Five Pillars. And I want to put this into the mix, guys. Keep your eyes on Five Pillars, the media company Five Pillars, run by Dilly Hussein and some, I think he's an apostate Christian called Robert Carter, and another guy, I can't remember his name. But they're a very, very big threat to the UK, because they want an Islamic State in the UK. It's as simple as that. And they are extremely influential. They are connected, as far as I know, with the Muslim vote. We've got candidates popping up all over the place. Five Pillars reckons they can win 27 seats in the next election, looking at the demographics in those seats. They think they can win 27 seats, and I think they're probably right. So what do we do? The threats that we face, we are going to be in the battle of our lives. If you had a tough 2025, my 2025 was the most difficult year of my life, right? And I'm not going to bore anyone with the details. On a personal level, absolute, complete and utter disaster. And yeah, I'm not going to go into it because it's in the rearview mirror now, and I'm looking for better times ahead. So what do we do? Well, I think Advance UK. In fact, actually, let's get it right. Let's get this in order. Okay, these are my priorities, my personal priorities. They're not resolutions, because I hate New Year's resolutions because they never work. You never end up doing what you should do, and you always fall flat on your face. So these aren't resolutions. This is what I'm going to do in 2026. It's not a resolution. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to redouble my spiritual efforts. In other words, I'm going to pray more. I'm going to read the Bible more. I'm going to do more YouTube videos where we're praying together, where we're seeking God, because I know that I'm not where I should be. Even now, I'm not where I should be in terms of my spirituality, in terms of my Christianity, so I'm going to redouble my efforts on that. And so, again, me and my wife were singing that little chorus last night. I hope she doesn't mind me saying this. And you might think we're weirdos. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. I'm not going to sing it. I've subjected people to my singing on that platform on the 13th of December. I'm not going to do it again, unless I get singing lessons and I can actually learn how to sing. Okay, but we were singing that seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. And it keeps coming back to me, that verse. But the other verse that came to me this morning, I'm going to read it. I put it in the comments. Where am I? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, Ephesians 6 verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. That's what we're up against, guys. We are in the battle of our lives, and the dividing lines are very clear. And we're on the side of the angels. The little thumbnail, I'm going to actually drop that in here, this little thumbnail, because I quite like it. The little thumbnail that I used for the video. Okay, let's just make that full screen. Okay, and 2026, the battle of our lives begins. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood. This is what's going on, and the reason I put it over the Houses of Parliament, this battle is in the. If you look at that area around Westminster, you've got Westminster Abbey, you've got the Houses of Parliament, you've got 10 Downing Street. That is the heart of political and ecclesiastical power. It's very interesting. Our first demo Our first demo in 2025 was in February 2025, and man, that was a spiritual battle, and the battle from that's, some demons really got exposed in February, and I mean men, or one individual man who's absolutely demon possessed, got exposed in that demo in February 2026, and I'm leaving him with the Lord. But the battle is in that's why we keep going there. That's why we keep going there. We keep going there. And it hasn't been done by design. It hasn't been planned. God has got us to Whitehall. God keeps putting us in Whitehall. Okay. So, because we want to go somewhere else, like on the two last demos, we wanted to go somewhere else, and we ended up in Whitehall. And I believe that's a spiritual battle that's taking place there, even though we're probably not well aware of it. So this spiritual battle, February, we're in Whitehall. 13th of September, we're in Whitehall. Biggest demonstration in British history. In 13th of December, to say 13th September in Whitehall, 13th of December, we're in Whitehall as well. So the spiritual warfare, there's high-level spiritual warfare going on over the capital city. And don't worry about what it seems like. Don't worry about what it looks like. What we need to be doing, we need to be praying. We need to be praying that, I'm in touch with a lot of people in lots of different political movements, political parties, and I'm interested in what they're saying about God. And all I can say is I believe Advance UK is on the right side. I believe Advance UK is at its core, even though it's not overtly saying it, at its core, it's a Christianized party. And that's what the country needs. That is what the country needs. No, I haven't seen that one, Craig. I'll try and get a look at that. I mean, that's interesting. So there's a spiritual battle going on. So we need to seek the kingdom of God first. We need to seek Christ first. And that's what I'm going to do, because I know I'm not right. Second thing I'm going to do is work on my personal relationships, my family, my relationship with my wife. Because again, I know there's a lot more I could do to make them better. So that's the first two things. Seek God, then seek the saving of the family, and make sure that the family and my relationship with my wife is what it should be. Okay. And I'm not suggesting everybody else has to do this, but I think this is good advice. Then I'm going to take care of my physical, my health as much as I can. I'm in my late 50s now. I need to look after my health if I want to do this and have an effect. And again, your whole family needs to do this if they can. You need to get your whole family healthy, as healthy as you possibly can. Because when you get into your 50s, things always start dropping off, and all sorts of things happen. But as much as we can do it, we need to keep ourselves healthy, and we need to pray that God keeps us healthy, because we've got to be able to fight. I'm not talking about physically, although that's part of it, but it's more than that. And then what we need to do, and we're doing this where I live, okay? Then what we need to do is build resilient communities. And we had all sorts of people come and go, but we've had a core of about 20 or 30 people that stand outside that hotel every Friday night. And I know them all personally. They're good people. I'm not going to name them on this channel. And what we need to do is build up that community. And we need to pray about that. We need to pray for the community, because not all of them are Christians, and we're not going down there to preach at people. We're going down there with one agenda, and that's to save our country, to save our families, to save our town. That's what we're doing. So seek first the kingdom of God. Get everything right with the family as much as possible. If you can't, you can only do what you can do. It's not up to you to make everybody else in the family toe the line and start doing what you want them to do. But you can pray, you can lead, you can try and influence. Physical fitness, good diet, no, very little alcohol. I don't really drink that much now anyway. I'll have the odd tipple every now and then, but I'm not a big drinker anymore. And building that resilient community where you live. And I think if we do those 4 things to start with, before we think about anything else, if we do those 4 things, if everybody in towns and cities up and down the country found 20 people in their area that believed exactly what they believed and were willing to stand for their community, that's what we need to do. And I mean, Jenny, that's absolutely right. We need a loyal community, 100%. And this isn't about, either in Northern Ireland, this isn't about Protestant and Catholic anymore. It really isn't. It's about people that know that our community, whatever, Christian background you're from, I think you need to be Christian, to be honest with you. I would rather stand with Christians than stand with people who are not Christians. But I mean, when I say Christian, I'm not on about like necessarily going to church and all that, but just a Christian ethos. Yeah, I think we need to have that. So once we've done that, once we've built that relationship with God, relationship with your family, get your fitness sorted out, and get your community so it's coming together, so it's gelling. Once you've done that, then you need to look at the other parts of the puzzle, okay, which are things like Advance UK. We've got a group already in where I live. We've got a group. Not sure, I haven't even counted how many people in it. I mean, one of the lads there, I mean, he is like on it, and he has just been adding people to that group. So I'm not going to name him, but he knows who he is, and he's smashing it, bringing all those people together, in that little WhatsApp group for Advance UK in North Down. And we've got to keep pushing Advance UK. We've got to keep recruiting for Advance UK. Then I'm going to go on to the pledge, because the pledge, do you know what? I actually apologize to everybody that signed up to the pledge. I didn't send a Christmas card out from the pledge this year. I was just too busy with everything else that was going on. We did that live stream on Paul's channel on Christmas Day, which was, to be honest with you, absolutely superb. I think that helped a lot of people that were on their own at Christmas. That's the feedback I got, that a lot of people, not just on their own, a lot of people that, obviously love our community and what it does, came together on Christmas Day. We did one on Christmas Eve as well at midnight, which I think was great. So all that stuff. And again, I took yesterday off. I just didn't do anything yesterday in terms of YouTube or talking. So Advance UK, the pledge, I'm going to do more with the pledge. Hopefully this year I'm going to speak to the other guys that do the pledge, because I think the pledge is really important to call every political party to account, including Advance UK. Because again, I've always said the pledge is the ideology that sits above everything. Obviously, Christianity and God sits above the ideology of the pledge, but the pledge is an ideology that I would say 90% of our followers can sign up to. So if they haven't signed up, they really probably need to. And that's the pledge.org.uk. And again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make more people mods as well on my channels as time goes on, because I haven't. I've been threatened to do that for a little while. I haven't done it. Yeah, that's it. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness. I hadn't heard that. I need to have a listen to that. If somebody can send me those links on email, send me the links to that. To the these apostate bishops attacking what we did on. You see, what we did in Downing Street had a massive spiritual impact, and we really need to, double down on that. And again, I'm just looking at Jenny No Chance where I live. They're all Liberal. Do you know why the woke Liberal Dems get in? Because they do a lot of community stuff, and that's what we need to do with Advance. We need to start doing community stuff as well. So Advance UK. The pledge. I'm also going to start the UK Freedom Movement again, or reboot the UK Freedom Movement. I worked on that with a very, very small team for a lot of years, and those people put a real shift in on the UK Freedom Movement, and it is now, because of what we're facing, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Because of what we're facing digital ID. We're facing the Islamophobia stuff, even though they changed the name of it. This if you say anything that's anti-Islam, you're going to be getting dragged through the courts. And also, we've still got some very censorious people on social media. You post stuff on social media, they'll still vaporize your channel in a heartbeat. These social media people need taken to task. The government needs taken to task. All of this hate speech needs to be repealed. There's plenty of you know, anti-hate laws already that, you know, that they just need to go. We need to be able to we need to be able to yeah, we need to be able to. I have one single political priority in 2026: advance UK in my area, single-minded. Absolutely right, Jenny. Absolutely 100%. And what we need to do is get everybody else in the town totally focused on that as well. Because I think if every single town does that, if every single town gets completely committed to advance UK, that's what it's all about. But just, to me, you've got to put all the other building blocks in place. You've got to get your relationship with God right, relationship with your family right, your fitness right, the little community right, and then you can build from there. Because otherwise, if you just go just on the political party, which is right to focus on it, but if that's all we're doing, then we're going to miss the depth of what we're trying to do. And to me, the spiritual side of things is the most important thing in my life by far. And then obviously family and fitness and all the other good stuff. So yes, UK freedom movement's going to breathe life into that. Going to start some. I've got a couple of YouTube channels there that I haven't done anything with, and I'm going to look at them because I think what we need is we need a YouTube channel specifically for promoting Christianity. We need a YouTube channel specifically for promoting freedom, which is what the UK freedom movement want to do. We've got the pledge already. Advance are doing their own stuff on social media, so all we really need to do there is share that and make videos like this where we're encouraging everybody to join Advance. And if you haven't joined Advance, if you're in the comments and you haven't joined Advance, Advance UK is the only solution to the problems our country's facing. That's just the way it is. The other stuff is really important, but Advance UK is going to be the political machine that's going to save our country. And it's got to. And it will. It will. And keep praying for Ben. It's really important. If you're a Christian, keep praying for Ben Habib, because again, he is probably the most important political figure in our time. Now, the other thing is Unite the Kingdom. That rally is happening on the 16th of May. So I would suggest everybody gets to that, because again, it's going to be a massive show of strength in the centre of London, and that's not a bad thing. The government needs to know that we're not just going to roll over and we're not going to be pushed around. That's brilliant, Southeast Patriot. Yes, absolutely, mate. As and when you can afford it, dive in there and join. Yeah, as far as the plan, but it doesn't matter. I mean, if we got God on our side, we can win this. So we need to seek God. We need to push Advance UK, and we just need to be laser focused on everything that we're doing. I'm going to close this off in about 5 minutes, because I literally just wanted to come on just to encourage everybody that we've got a plan and we've got to stick to the plan. And again, obviously, I'm not expecting massive numbers on this. Having said that, we've got 300 people watching, which is great. I think Paul Thorpe at one point on when he finished his live stream on Christmas Day had 2,000 people watching. So, but again, all of this takes time, it takes money, it takes resources, it takes effort. And obviously, the other thing is, as Christians, we need to be praying for a Christian revival. We need to be praying that God's kingdom will come. We need to be seeking first the kingdom of God. So if we get yeah, do you know what? Advanced Ireland, do you know what? That's something I've discussed with someone else. I mean, it's obviously, I think we've got to walk before we can run. But I would love to see Advance Ireland, and I'd love to see it be affiliated with Advance UK. And I think that needs to happen. I think that absolutely needs to happen. Spent my Christmas with Paul, had a great time. Yeah, it was great, wasn't it? Absolutely great. Absolutely great. Yeah, actually, somebody was talking to me about Alan Clifford. I think I've been in touch with Alan Clifford at some point. I think. I can't remember. But yeah. Okay, guys, right. I'm gonna wrap it there. But I just want to encourage everyone. There is a plan. There is a plan. And um this is the battle of our lives. We've got to make sure that Advance is the only party that people will vote for and the only party that people will stand for, because Reform isn't the answer. You know that. You know that. Reform is an Islamophile party. It's not gonna change anything. It's not gonna do anything. And Advance is the only answer. Simple as that. Right, guys, I'm gonna go. Enjoy the rest of your break. I'm going to be at this full tilt now. I'm going to be doing my websites. I'm going to be trying to eat healthy. I'm going to be getting, working on all my other stuff that I've just told you about. And I strongly suggest that you do something similar. But again, like Jenny said, let's be laser-like focused to make sure that, there's my mate, Derek. Hey, Derek, how are you, mate? God bless you, my brother. And this guy, there's Derek. Derek has been an absolute stalwart in the movement as long as I've been doing it. You'll see him. He always wears his Union Jack suit, or not always, but a lot of the time he wears his Union Jack suit. He's a great, great guy. And again, what we need is millions upon millions of Dereks and Richards and Sean's and Helen's and Phil's and Jenny's and Bob's and Bill's and all the rest of the people. We just need tens and tens of thousands up and down the country getting busy and just being evangelists for Christianity and for Advance UK. Right, guys, that's it. That's me. I'm going to bug out here. I'll definitely do tomorrow evening with the Christian stuff. Then I'll be back on Monday. Probably do it a bit later on Monday, probably about 8 o'clock-ish. Have a bit of a lie-in because it's still kind of holiday time. But I'm going to be busy. I'm going to be busy over the next few weeks and months. I've got loads to do. I know what I've got to do, and I'm going to do it. So for me, it's going to be obviously faith, family, community, flag. It's going to be Advance UK, UK Freedom Movement, Saving the UK, the Pledge, Unite the Kingdom, Christian Revival. That's going to be the focus of me next year, and I think we can do this. We can do something really, really special. We just need to get the head down, and yeah. Well, I don't think we do, Derek. To be honest with you, there's only one Tommy. There's only one Derek. We all need to be ourselves, but just be working as hard as you've worked, Derek. Because I know you've been at this pretty much full tilt for as long as I've been doing it. And again, that's what we all need to do. We all just need to put our hands to the plow. It's as simple as that. Thanks for the encouragement, Joanne. Morning all. Hope you had a good Christmas. Yes, great, Sid. Yeah, everyone recognizes Derek by the suit. I will look into it too. Expats been asking some same question. Yeah, absolutely right. 100%, 100%, Calvatron. You are 100% right. Eat protein, lift weights, and do a bit of kicking and punching and grappling. Get into the old mixed martial arts, whether it's karate or I was going to say what I call it, but I'm not going to do that because I probably will get the channel banned. But anyway, guys, yes, have a nice day, everybody, and I'm going to go for a swim, and I'm going to go for a walk, and I'm going to eat loads of protein. See you all soon, guys.